Right now, my sales team of 3 closers take 18 to 27 qualified sales calls per day for my online service-based business, and they each close 1 new client per day minimum on a $22K offer. And the best part is their calendars get automatically filled with qualified sales calls day in and day out through our automated paid ads funnel, which I run for free given our clients pay for our ad spend. Now, before I go into exactly how you can get this same funnel installed in as little as 7 days and start immediately seeing your calendar fill up with back-to-back qualified sales calls every single day with prospects who want your product or service and they have the cash on hand ready to pay in full for your high-ticket offer. First, I know you're probably thinking, who is this guy and why should I listen to him? So let me give you some context. My name is Kai Bax and I run ScaleClients.io, which is a marketing and consulting agency that has worked with over 2,100 plus online service-based businesses, marketing agencies, coaches, and consultants to scale their revenue. We've worked with brands such as 7 Mile Media, Grow AI, Ecom Capital, Phase 1 Ventures, the Agency Collective, The Draw Shop, Lifelike Media, among literally thousands of others. And not only that, but over the last 24 months, I've scaled my own online service-based business and consultancy to over $1 million a month in revenue. And here's the thing, we practice what we preach. So I spend about $300K a month on ads that fill my sales team's calendar with 6 to 7 qualified sales calls per day per sales rep, and they close those sales calls at roughly 25 to 30% week in and week out. So I test everything on my own dime before we ever roll it out to clients to ensure it's guaranteed to work, which is also why we have one of the highest client success rates in the industry. For example, Paul from Lifelike Media closed a $152K cash collected deal directly from ads. Steven is consistently doing $70K profit per week with his remote roofing installation company. Lucy went from 0 to $85K a month in 5 months in the med spa and aesthetics industry. Lauren did $250K just last week and is on pace to do $1 million this month with her high-ticket B2B coaching consulting offer. Jose from Juice Media hit $150K a month within 30 days after being stagnant at about $25K a month. Jason did $90K last week and he's on pace to do $500K this month with his done-for-you automation offer. Even James from Ecom Boss scaled from $50K a month to $220K a month in his first 30 days with his high-ticket B2C coaching offer. Muntha from Social Synergy Studio scaled from $7K a month to $105K a month in 5 months. Blake from the Agency Collective closed 14 new clients at $9K per client in the first 20 days of this month, totaling $100K in new MRR. Troy Dean from Agency Maverick scaled to over $100K a month in 30 days from $19K in ad spend. Liz from Grow AI closed $50K last week in new monthly recurring client retainers and has scaled from $30K a month to $200K a month in 6 months. Michael from Superfit Gyms closed $60K in new monthly recurring client retainers from $5K in ad spend. And Summer from the Draw Shop has cash collected $162K from new clients in the first 22 days of this month, excluding back-end sales. And again, these are just a few clients amongst the 2,100 plus that we've actually worked with. So let me explain to you how all this works. Most people think ads are expensive, inconsistent, they only produce unqualified sales calls with people who just aren't interested in your services, and that they just ultimately don't work. But what if there was a way to get paid to acquire your most ideal clients week in and week out by running ads? In other words, what if there was a way to get paid 5 to 10K plus upfront in profit after all expenses, including cost of acquisition and the cost of goods sold, every single time you sign a new client from ads? I mean, if you had this lever in your business that you could literally pull at any moment in time and get clients, what would your revenue look like? I mean, I'll tell you, for us, this one paid client acquisition funnel scaled us from $50K per month to $1 million a month in a little over 24 months. And on top of that, we're also on pace to hit a $25 million per year run rate at the end of this year directly from this paid client acquisition funnel. And guess what? This is the secret behind any online service-based business that is scaled to 100 million plus a year. They all get paid to acquire new clients from ads, including Alex Hermosi's gym launch, digital marketer, Sabra Subi's King Kong, Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi's mastermind.com, etc. And so here's exactly how we do this for ourselves as well as our 2,100 plus clients. And it all starts with the front end ad creative, which has 9 key outcomes. And for context, you can see 2 of my highest performing ads here, which are live right now. And in the last 30 days, ad 1 has spent $7,051 and generated $60,000 in profit, as you can see here from our Hyros data. And this was only 40% cash collected of the total contract value from the 10 closes that this ad generated. So in reality, from the $7,051 we spent, we actually generated $150K in revenue, which will be collected over the next 4 months, all from this one singular ad creative in the last 30 days. And you can see during that same 30-day period, ad 2 spent $5,446 and generated $28,300 in profit. And again, that was only 62% of the contract value. So this ad generated $45K in contracted revenue, which is also due to be collected over the next 4 months from only 5 5.4K in ad spend. And so if these 9 outcomes are achieved, your ads will consistently produce qualified sales calls every day with prospects that show up with the cash on hand ready to pay in full for your service. However, it's extremely important to note that it's not a question of if you are implementing these 9 keys, but rather it's a question of how well are you implementing them that will truly determine how successful your ads are. And by the way, the reason I'm spending so much time on the ad part of this process is because your ads determine who comes through the funnel. In other words, if you get this part wrong, it doesn't matter how good your funnel is, your offer is, how good you are in sales calls, you will be unprofitable and you'll be losing money. So key number 1 is to not get categorized. Your prospects are looking for every reason to not read or consume your ads. And so when they get served an ad from you, they are immediately trying to categorize your ad into a known bucket in their mind, which is labeled, "I've seen this before." That way, they can, quote, know the ending without spending any energy. But here's the thing, if they cannot categorize the ad, then they have to search for the ending by consuming the ad before they can move on, since as humans, we do not like open loops. And that's why cliffhangers are used in movies, because it makes you want to watch the next episode to see what happens next. And you can achieve the same outcome in your advertising if you don't allow your market to categorize you, since that forces them to consume your ad, then your funnel, then they buy. Key outcome number 2, explain away past failures, or in other words, explain to your prospects in logical terms which are backed up by facts why everything they have tried in the past has failed, since that creates a void in which your solution is the perfect fit. Key outcome number 3, when filling the open void with your solution, explain why your product or service is exponentially better than every other option on the market. In other words, show, don't tell. Number 4, clearly showcase a desirable offer that completely eliminates any downside for the prospect, yet doesn't handcuff you to wild claims that you can't deliver on. Number 5, flood your ads with indisputable evidence proving that and why this works. Number 6, tailor 100% of your messaging to your market's pre-existing desire. Do not create desire, as this is significantly harder to do and it's simply not needed to get to 500 grand a month to $1 million a month plus. Number 7, increase the level of certainty your market has in you delivering the outcome you are promising by increasing the level of predictability. Number 8, be as specific as you possibly can whilst ensuring your total addressable market, or TAM, remains at 25,000 or more in the countries that you're targeting. Number 9, ensure all ads act as a slippery slide. In other words, once your ideal client starts reading or consuming your ad, they should not be able to stop. And this slippery slide should then take the prospect straight into your funnel, which is the next step. Now, remember how I said the ad is the most important part of this entire process since they determine who comes through the funnel and who doesn't? Well, that is true. However, you could have a great ad, but if the funnel doesn't achieve the following 6 key outcomes, qualified prospects will not book in a call with you. Number 1, the funnel must be an extension of your ad. The reason they've landed on your funnel is because of something you've said in your ad, yet it's not enough quite yet to get the prospect to book in a call with you. So the funnel needs to not only be an extension of the ideas in your ad, but it also needs to expand on those ideas in the ad enough to get the prospect to book in a call. Second, the funnel must be 100% consistent and congruent with the ads. If the ad says one thing and the funnel says another, even if it's the slightest bit off, you will have 0 qualified sales calls booked. Number 3, any loop you open in the ad must be closed in the funnel. Number 4, the slippery slide must continue into booking a call. If you give your prospects the slightest opportunity to exit your funnel, they will, and you will lose them forever. Number 5, focus specifically on selling the booked call, not your product or service. You see, if you try and sell your product or service, it will raise too many questions and objections, which will give your prospects that opportunity to exit out of the funnel. And again, you'll lose them forever. And finally, number 6, requalify who this is for and who it's not. Now, once the prospect has been sold and booking in a call with our sales team, we then have a split pathway that's built into our funnel that's determined by their answers to a few specific quality-based questions. Now, what's important here is that this split pathway is set up within your funnel before the event you are optimizing for in the ad account gets triggered. So that way, the only people who trigger the event are qualified, because then that sends quality data back to Facebook, allowing them to do all the heavy lifting for you through their AI targeting. Now, I'll show you how this looks here in a minute, but before I do, let me show you this. In our own client acquisition funnel, which we spend $300K a month plus on, if any lead selects they're making below $10K a month on our qualifier form, that means they're unqualified for our main service, and so they automatically redirect to a completely separate recurring low ticket funnel, which is only for unqualified leads. And right now we make about $80,000 in monthly recurring revenue from leads we would have otherwise disqualified. Now, what's better is, although we make about $1 million per year in net profit from these unqualified leads, the main reason we have this set up is so that we can get paid to create qualified clients for our main service offering. In other words, we have so many people who want to work with us, but they just don't meet our minimum requirements. And so we created this recurring low ticket funnel so that it will build them up to those minimum requirements, allowing us to then later upsell them. And as you can see here, this works extremely well. For example, Derek hit a 7x cash ROAS, Sam collected 18K from 2.3K ad spend, Sean closed 25K from 7K ad spend, Paul collected 28K cash with a 13.3x cash ROAS, Jay made a 25K close from 1.2K ad spend, Tyler got a 19K pay in full from only $633 in ad spend, and Maxime made 88K from 5.5K ad spend. And these are literally just a few amongst hundreds of other wins we have from this low ticket product, all of whom were unqualified when they initially joined. And fast forward just a few weeks and they all became perfectly qualified clients for our main service. However, the most important pathway is pathway number 1, which is where all qualified prospects go, which for us is any business who makes more than 10K a month and sells their product or service via a sales call. Now, this pathway takes them to a very simple book a call page, and from there, they get redirected to a thank you page. Now, on this thank you page is where the schedule event, which is what we're optimizing for in our ad account, is triggered, sending only qualified data back to Facebook, allowing Facebook to then use their advanced AI targeting to find me more qualified prospects who are also likely to book in a call with us as well. And this then creates a quality flywheel that makes our ads extremely consistent, and it allows us to get cheaper costs over time since the algorithm becomes smarter and smarter on who we want and who we don't want. Now, most people would stop here. However, once you've sold a prospect on booking a call, you then need to sell that prospect on showing up to the call, which is done on our thank you page. And specifically, there's 4 key things that we need to achieve on our thank you page. And when I implemented these 4 things, our show rate went from 50% to 86% the next week. Number 1, the thank you page should confirm all bookings manually and cancel anyone who doesn't respond to confirm prior to their sales call. This removes all people who are likely to no-show, leaving only the sales calls who are likely to show on the calendar, which, believe it or not, increases the show rate. Number 2, the thank you page should immediately start building the know, like, and trust factor, since if you know somebody, you really like them, and you trust them 100%, you're very likely to show up to a call with them. Number 3, the thank you page should also pre-sell prospects so that they show up to the sales call already sold. That'll naturally increase your show rate as well as increase your close rate. And finally, number 4, it should use interviews, podcasts, trainings, or case studies, whichever you have access to build immediate authority. Now, after the prospect books a call, they immediately go into a booked call email automation, which is structured for the following 3 outcomes. Number 1, increase show rates. Number 2, further pre-sell the prospects. And number 3, further increase the know, like, and trust factor. Now, this process, in combination with the thank you page, should produce north of 80% show rates, which is exceptionally high from ads, and it's exceptionally common for us and our clients. On the sales call, you and your sales team will close these qualified bookings above 35% if, number 1, you prove beyond a reasonable doubt that your product or service is exactly what the prospect you are speaking to specifically needs. Number 2, you remove all the risk, so the only logical decision is to buy. And number 3, you just have a genuine conversation with the prospect. Don't conduct a typical high-ticket sales call. And our sales director, Matt, is the master of this. He came in and took over our sales team, and he increased our average close rate across the entire team from 22% to 31%, and he increased our average upfront cash collection from 37% to 64% in the first 60 days. And by closing above 30% on qualified sales calls, you'll be making so much money, it will literally feel like you are printing cash from ads, because you actually are. And once we close a new client, we automatically enroll them into our automated 6-step onboarding process, which is the first step in keeping our churn rate under 5% monthly and maximizing our client lifetime value, since after consuming it, our clients, number 1, completely understand the constraints in their business and clearly see the path to success. Number 2, they just really like who they're working with. And number 3, they have full confidence that they are working with the right team to help them scale. And from here, this then sets them up for massive success with our fulfillment team. Now, you could go and implement this yourself and test countless ads, funnels, offers, price points, etc. until you find what works, which for me took about 6 months and 150 grand in completely wasted ad spend. Or you could just get me and my 8-figure team to come into your business and install our already proven ads, offers, and funnels entirely done for you, like we've done for our 2,100 plus clients in every industry you can imagine, which we also have endless proof for, as you can see here on this page. And specifically, I'll guarantee you 3 key outcomes. First, we'll build you an offer that converts completely cold strangers who are your exact ideal clients into high-ticket deals predictably through ads without making any wild claims or guarantees that you just can't deliver on. And on top of that, my in-house 8-figure copywriters will then script all of your ad creatives and your sales letter completely done for you, which will position you as the best or only option for your market to achieve their desired outcome by following the 9 key outcomes that I discussed for ad creatives and a few bonus ones that we only keep secret for our clients. And what this results in is your market having only one option: to work with you. And this is done through reverse selling, where instead of directly selling your ideal clients on why you're the best, which just does not work, we first explain the real reason why what they've tried in the past to get the result that you helped them with has failed, creating that void in their mind. And when done right, your market will then be asking you to sell them on your solution, which is when we will introduce your unique mechanism that will also create for you. Now, this is the foundation to generating inbound qualified sales calls with prospects who not only have the cash on hand ready to pay in full for your offer, but also prospects who are genuinely eager to work with you instead of you needing to try and hard sell them to get the close. Now, secondly, we'll then create, launch, and scale your ads to fill your calendar with 6 to 7 qualified sales calls per day per sales rep, Monday through Friday, again, entirely done for you. Just like we are here with Scott, who's booking in over 100 qualified sales calls every single week. Another client, Muntha, is booking in between 12 and 15 qualified sales calls every single day like clockwork. Jacob is booking 10 plus qualified sales calls a day, and Wahid is booking 15 qualified sales calls a day for his sales team of 2 closers. And again, this is the exact same process that I'm using to do over $1 million a month in revenue with my own online service-based business. And finally, if you or your sales team isn't closing 25% plus of the sales calls that we're generating for you from ads, then here's exactly what we'll do for you. Number 1, we'll help you rewrite your sales scripts and rebuild your pitch deck. Number 2, we'll then conduct daily call reviews and one-on-one sales training for you and your sales team. And number 3, we'll role play with your team until your average close rate is 25% or higher. Now, this is only for you if, number 1, you run an online service-based business of any type. Number 2, you have a minimum price point of 1K plus. And number 3, you are above 10K a month and you're serious about getting to 100K a month, 500K a month, or even $1 million a month plus. If that's you and you need more consistent qualified sales calls so that you can get paid to sign new clients and scale your revenue, then click the first link in the description, fill out the short 30-second application that's on the next page to see if you qualify, and book a call.